So we're just going to find this more yin space to begin with, right? This sort of quiet, inward, deeply rooted in the pelvis, sitting bones. And this is kind of going to be our theme today. It's just getting rooted in our bones. And we can start with the sitting bones, just getting heavy, yielding, relaxing. And in that yielding of the sitting bones, you can begin to feel the spine sort of naturally aligning upward. There's that natural rebound that happens up to the top of the head. Go ahead and just relax any tension in the jaw and the face, around the eyes. You can see if you can find a soft smile across the face. It's that inner smile. And we'll open up with 3 ohms or any sound that resonates for you this morning. Seeing if you can feel that sound reverberating in your bones. So let it go deep. Exhale all the breath out. Take a deep, full breath in. Just find another breath or two here. And just see if you can start to feel a little undulation in the spine as you inhale, a little arch in the back. As you exhale, a little round. So almost as if you're just beginning a small cat-cow movement. And just inhaling, arching, maybe opening up the throat a little bit more and exhaling, curling round. And 2 more, inhale. Just exaggerate the movement, opening the chest, arching the back, exhale, pull all the way in, rounding, pull into the navel. And just 1 more, looping the shoulders back as you open up the chest, curl the head back, and exhale, curl and round. Good, and inhale, come on up to sitting, and we'll take the right hand back, left hand on the outside of the knee, and just take a moment and root down. So as we move into twist, we always want to just start with the settling in. So we'll just call it that yin field today. It's going down and into the ground, the earth, and then inhale from there, twisting and moving. So more subtle micro twists to begin with. The eyes can look all the way to the side. 1 more deep in breath. Twist with the out breath, and then inhale. We'll just switch over to the other side. Left hand back. And just start with that exhale, yield. Shoulders actually relax a little. And then we inhale. So we're going to come into our practice a little different than we would go into our day, right? Just getting up and moving. We're just dropping in, softening in. And then from there, inhaling, making space between the vertebrae. The core just starts to activate at the navel and looking all the way to your side. Good. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, twist. And then inhale, coming all the way back, and we'll release ourselves onto our hands and knees. And let's come into some actual cat-cow, spreading the fingers. Take a deep breath in. Open up that front of your spine and exhale. Root the arms as you round. And then inhale, arching the back. Open the front of your spine. Exhale, rounding. The back of the heart opens. And inhale. And exhale. Great. And two more. And you can even do some side body openings, maybe some figure eights on these last two if it feels good. Okay, and then let's step the hands a little bit forward. We'll tuck our toes, and let's just come right back to modified dog with the knees bent, feet wide. And so the knees bent allows us to be more in the yin space, in the pelvis, right? Opening up the pelvic floor, the hamstrings, the lower back, and we feel that watery, fluid body. You can let your head relax, jaw relax. Yeah, and then just go ahead and walk your dog a couple of times, warming up the back line of the legs, the fascial lines through the back legs. So fascia is very yin in its nature. And so we want to go slow with fascia. We want to breathe into it. Yeah. Great. And then we're going to slowly walk to the top of our mats. You can stretch out the toes as you come up. Take a forward bend here. Inhaling and exhale. Yeah. And just hang forward. Let your hair hang down, your shoulders. Yeah. Just let everything go here for a moment. And then we'll bend our knees and we're just going to roll up just one vertebrae at a time. Coming on up to standing, and just take a moment here, arriving in this more vertical position. Yeah. And then let your eyes open. We'll just do a little bit of bone tapping here. So you can start with the soft fist just on the chest, tapping the sternum. Yeah, just waking up both the chi and the tissue, and as well as kind of waking up the bones. And you can come down the sides of the ribs nice and gently, around the front of the ribs, back of the ribs. Yeah, and then down to your hips and just all around the hip joint, light tapping, and just see if you can really access the bone level. Yeah. And then we'll come down and just actually do one leg at a time here. Getting those bones really awake here. Spend about a minute on each side. So you can come down to the shin bones. Yep. And the ankle bones. Let's be light with your fist. And coming back up. Really working on the femur bone. And then just actually take a moment in between sides and just feel. So feel the difference after you've tapped that left side. Might feel a little different on that side. And then when you're ready, just going over to the right leg and tapping. This just really allows us to get grounded from a bone level. Get the feet a little bit, just all those little bones, 26 bones in the feet. And then making your way back up. Any place else that feels like it needs a little tapping. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes even the head needs a little tap. And then we'll just go ahead and come back to standing here. And you can bring your feet a little closer or maybe all the way together for Samastitihi. And you can either begin with your hands here at your heart or down by your sides. And take this first moment to come into just a clear place with your intention for your practice this morning. So for me, I just came out of a weekend workshop of working on what was called the fierce feminine, but really is coming from this deeper resourced yin energy field, which is the ground, the earth, our bones. So it's continuing to sort of drop into that fierce place of resource. And so we'll take a exhale here, releasing the hands if they're at your chest by your sides. Let the eyes open. We're going to move through some, we'll call them lunar namaskars, because we want to move from a more soft feminine place this morning, reaching the arms up overhead. Look to your thumbs, let your tailbone drop down, and then turn the palms out and exhale, just nice and slow, like you're swimming slowly through the water as you fold. Deep bow. Inhale, hands to the shins, to a halfway lift, long spine. And exhale, step the left leg back. Release the back knee down to the floor. And inhale, sweep the arms up. Yeah. And exhale, we'll bow forward. And we're going to place our left hand down, right arm to the sky. We'll take a twist in here. Nice gentle twist. A couple breaths here. Inhale. Bringing that space and the elongation into the spine, and exhale, twisting with the gaze too. And one more breath here, inhale. And exhale, release the hands. We'll step back onto the knees, inhale here, and exhale, Ashtanga Pranam. So keep the butt high, lead with the chest, slide and glide your way into a cobra. Little moving cobra here for a moment. And then exhale, lower down, press back through the knees and slide your way back. Downward facing dog. You can always stay on your knees if that feels more nourishing. Do about 5 Ujjayi breaths and see if you can tap into the bones here. Right, feel the way that the bones are holding things up. Way. The fascia gets to drape over the bones, holding things together. Let go of the back of your neck, your jaw. And take another deep breath in. And follow the exhale to the tail end. We'll step our right foot forward, bring the back knee down. And inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Yeah. And then on the exhale, we'll sweep right back down. Oops. I think we're on the other side. We're left foot forward. And then we want to take a twist here. So just take a couple of breaths here. And as you inhale, you're breathing that space into the spine, into the vertebrae. And then as you exhale, you're just twisting gently around the vertical axis. And then the hands come down. We'll step all the way forward, halfway lift. And exhale, fold in. Shaking the head a little side to side. Good, inhale, leading with the chest, reach the arms overhead, look to your thumbs. And on the exhale, you're just going to swim your way back onto your plumb line. Good, take a breath here, hands at the heart. And then exhale, just keep moving in this nice soft flow, inhaling Reach the arms up, look to your thumbs, and exhale. Take that big swan dive, scooping out the sacrum as you fold. Deep bow. Inhale, hands to the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll step our left foot back first this time, back knee to the floor. And inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, down. Let's just come right back to either plank or all fours. Lower down through Chaturanga or Ashtanga Pranam. I'm keeping it a little slow this morning. And exhale, slide your way back. Yeah, so you can either be on your knees or all the way back in dog pose. And move through 5 Ujjayi breaths, relaxing any tension in the jaw so the tongue can rest on the roof of the mouth, bringing a soft smile across the face. There's an inner sense of calmness, restfulness. Good, and we exhale all the way out to the bottom. And then wherever you are, stepping your left foot forward. And reach the arms up to the sky, crescent lunge. Like you're just taking a sip of nectar. And exhale, hands come down, step all the way to the top. Inhale. And exhale, fold in. Root down through the feet. Inhale, lead with your heart and chest. Arms radiate up. And exhale, right onto your plumb line. And just take a breath here. Inhale. And we'll do our last one here. Exhale the arms down. Sweep your arms wide. Keep the feet open as you go up, and exhale, up and over. Forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift. And we're going to step both feet back into plank pose and just pause here for a moment, looking out in front. Keep the legs strong, heart is soft. Another deep breath in. And exhale, lower, straight legs or knees bent. Come through to cobra or upward dog, if you feel open enough. Good, exhale. We'll slide and glide. That's the soft yin way of moving, is sliding, gliding, little micro moves. If you feel any kind of tension anywhere in your body, just see if you can maybe bend a little, spiral a little bit, move a little bit. Don't feel like you're just stuck in a linear posture. Come back to the soft, steady breath. Fluid breath. Good. And then at the very bottom of your next breath, feel the perineum slightly tone. Look up between the hands and step or hop forward, your choice. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale, fold in, bow. Relax the back of your head. And then inhale, make your way all the way back up. So you're going down through the feet as you come up. And then as you exhale, there's an extension up through the crown of the head. Hands come together at the heart. Just pause for a moment. Great. Shall we turn the heat down, or do you like it? Well, all right. I want you to be more comfortable. You're okay? Okay, I might turn it down in a minute. All right, so let's from here bend the knees. And you can do this with the feet apart, knees apart, or feet together, knees together. We're just going to sweep the fingertips, reach back behind, look in towards the navel. And then on the exhale, arms come up by the ears. Let's just do that a couple of times. Reach back behind and broaden and widen your pelvic floor as you reach back. So your tailbone's going to stick out. Yeah, and then you want to kind of meet in the middle, finding the tailbone and pubic bone together. And hold it here for a couple of breaths. See if you can let your bones hold you. So less muscle energy, more bone. Good, and then exhale. Fold forward and a deep bow. And inhale, look up. And exhale, we'll step our left leg back and we'll come into a lunge here, staying super light on your fingers. And then we're just going to kind of move the hips back and forth, getting some lubrication there in the hip joint. Great. And then on this, as you pull your hips back on the next one, straighten your leg and come up onto the heel if it feels good. And open up through the back half muscle. Just going to let your heel hang towards the earth. Good. And then inhale, come forward into a lunge. Great. And plant your hands. Exhale. We'll step back to down dog. Reach and stretch. And then we'll step our left foot forward. And again, just stay on the fingertips and lubricate your hips by sliding and gliding forward and back, side to side. Yeah. And then straighten the front leg, reaching into the back heel. And inhale, come forward into a lunge again, lift the chest, and exhale, go back. Yeah. Great. And then this time, inhale, we're going to step forward and just come into Uttanasana. So we'll take our hands here to the outside of the shins and give a little squeeze in. And as you're doing that, move your inner thighs apart. So there's a feeling of broadening across the sacrum here. Yeah, and then you just want to let your upper body hang and lengthen. It's letting the jaw go. And then slip your fingers around your big toes and inhale, look up halfway. And exhale, elbows broad as we fold. So your quads are nice and toned here, but not overly engaged. Right? Just toned. You want to be right in the center of your feet. And try not to hyperflex the feet here. Just find that balance, right? And start from the yin place, not the effort, but the letting go, the softening and opening, and then you can go for a little more effort. Yeah. Pulsing in and out of the breath. Good. We're going to inhale, look up, exhale. Bring your hands to your hips, and then just nice and slow, come on up to stand. And let's just step our feet together again. And just rest here in mountain pose with the palms facing open. And just feel for a moment. Just let your body's self-organizing mechanism kick in here. So you'll just feel the body organizing around the center line. And everything can relax around that center line. And then we'll, from here, open it up. We're going to turn and open the feet about one leg length apart, turning the right foot straight out. So we'll open the arms wide. We're going to go right into Utthita Trikonasana, spreading open the toes, the fingers, big open breath here. And then on the exhale, reach up and over, placing your hand on the shin or ankle. If you have a block, you can use a block. Yeah, and then just, again, take that moment to feel your bones, the deepest tissues in the body, right? And they're actually fluid. We think of them as solid, but the bones, they're just the more solid form of the fluid, the tissue. So we just move the bones a little, open up the spine, turn the gaze. Try not to clench the feet. Great. And then we're going to look down, bend the knee, and we'll hop up onto our right leg. So you can come with the left hand down to begin with if you need that support for balance. Left hand comes to the hip. Yep. And just start to open. We draw the outer right hip back and under. Left arm to the sky, if it works. If balance is tricky, just keep your hand down. Yeah. And then just open the bones, open from the inside out. Yeah. Good. And then on the exhalation, we'll bend the knee, gracefully try to step back right into triangle. So we'll come back to our triangle pose first, then inhale, come on up to standing and just go ahead and switch to the other side. Big breath in, arms spread wide. Exhale, up and over. Make sure you have enough space to step it through. I love how you picked the wooden blocks today. Because I put them out, I'm like, some people like the wooden blocks, right? Good. So yeah, just micro adjust here. Micro adjust, find the spirals. You can even move in and out, pulsating. It's the micro moves actually that really open up the body and the tissues. So when you come into the pose, little micro adjustments, nothing big. Deepening your breath. And on the exhale, look down, bend the knee, hop your way up into half moon. You're welcome to use a block or both hands. Yeah. And then you just stabilize here by grounding from the left sitting bone to the left heel. Draw the outer left hip crease back. Yeah, that's your foundation. And then you can start to open from there. Drawing the back body in towards the front and breathing. Don't worry about how far in you go, right? It's just an exploration. Yeah. And then when you've had enough, look down, bend the knee, step back to triangle. And then come up with just as much mindfulness, turning the feet in. And let's just go ahead and bring our feet together here. Rest back in Samastitihi. Breathing. So we come back to the yin field, right? It's like we work the body, we twist and churn and open, and then we come back to resting place. And then we'll open up our feet again, nice, a little wider this time. Turn the right foot out, arms stretch out wide. Exhale, bend your front knee, Virabhadrasana 2. Just start here, a couple of breaths. So we embody warrior. Strong spine, open heart. We'll keep picking ourselves back up each day and meeting the day. And then we'll take a breath into reverse warrior and then come right into extended side angle. Moving in this deep flow. Good. And just take another couple of breaths here, looking up softly. So let the muscles only work as hard as they need to, right? I want you to think more about bones open, joints fluid. Exhale and then inhale. Come on up, and we're gonna do this other side, and then we'll start to work more into twists. So inhale, arms wide. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Soften your gaze and breathe. Good. Yeah. Into extended side angle pose. Yeah. Great. Beautiful. So right heel reaches into the earth to get more opening through the fingertips. We'll finish our breath and then inhale, use the bones to come back up, arms spread wide, hands to the hips right away. And inhale, a nice big breath opens the front of the chest, spine. Exhale into forward fold. Hands come to the floor. Yeah, Prasarita Padottanasana A. So we just find that tripod, even if the head doesn't come to the floor, just imagining it there as a tripod with your hands. Good. And soften. Remember, just open, go into the yin. So our culture, right, we're constantly coming from yang and we're depleting ourselves. So we want our practice to start training us to start in the yin. Start with the open, soften, the earth, the bones. She's slipping. Did you put lotion on? Oh, I have more here if you want. Yeah, so then we'll inhale from here, look up, and on the exhale, we're just going to walk on over to the right and come down onto your back knee. If you need to, fold your mat over. And we'll just take our hands here and take a pause. So you're going to just hold your hands here on your thigh bone and use the hands to help root the femur bone, root the pelvis. Yeah. And then when you feel that rooting, you're going to inhale the left arm up. And from your right waistline, right ribs, wrap your elbow to the outside. Fold your hands at your heart. And stay low and grounded as you twist. So work the exhalation, the apana. The apana is really where the twist deepens. Bottom of the exhale, good. One more big in-breath and follow the exhale all the way. Good, we'll inhale, come on out. Let's just take a few breaths here with the hands inside the foot. You can bend the elbows, maybe even come down onto an elbow or two. And curl in. For me, any kind of like deep hip openers like this are very yin in their nature. They're going into the deep, dark, more fertile place in our bodies, nourishing. Good, and then coming up and lift your back knee. And we'll just walk on over and pause here for a moment in the middle. Come back to Prasarita Padottanasana. You can even take your big toes if you like. I love just feeling gravity in my jaw here. So you can just let gravity have your head, your jaw. Just don't let it have your shoulders. And one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. And inhale, lock your hands out, go to the back, and we'll come down onto our back knee. And then again, just take a moment here, hands on the thigh bone, and you're just rooting. There's not a lot to do. It's more just letting the bones settle, right? The yielding. And then once you feel that yielding, inhale, right arm up, connecting to the side ribs, floating rib, exhale, wrap around. And go to the pause. Yeah, and then you're just unfolding as you twist. And the rib cage, it moves like an accordion. Eyes can be in the picture here, looking all the way to the side. And just take one more nice full in breath. And exhale, twisting, and then we'll inhale. Hands come down inside your foot. And then you just decide how deep you want to go. I'm going to stay high here on this side. You can do some little micro movements in the tail. Good. And then we inhale, lift the back knee, and exhale. Let's just take one more little pause here in the middle. Let go of your head and neck. Yep. Great. And then let's, when you're ready, just walk back to the front of your mat and come back to downward facing dog for a good stretch here. Just feel the angles, the lines, the horizontals in connection with earth and sky. And then we'll inhale into plank and exhale lower to our bellies. And then from here, come all the way down, planting the tops of your feet down, spread your toes, and we'll reach back, interlace the hands. And then on the exhale, you want to curl your tail towards the heels to open up the lumbar, and inhale, come on up. And you can just adjust the shoulders side to side. Feel free to even roll onto one side if that feels good. And then the other side. Come back to center, fingertips by our chest. And then exhale. Let's press back to down dog again. And we'll step our right foot forward. And this time the back foot turns in about 45 degrees. So we're going to come into Parsvottanasana, hands on either side of the foot. Inhale, big breath. And so you want to try to lift the belly, lower belly off the right hip. You're scooping it as you fold. Deepen your breath. Breathe into the sensations in your body. So you can either work the pose here or take it into a twist with the left hand, either on the inside or outside of the foot. Blocks are always welcome here. And then with your right thumb, you can pull that hip crease back. You kind of pull it back and tuck it in. And then inhale, reach out through the crown. And the right hand can either come onto the low back, the sacrum, or arm reaches up towards the sky. You just decide what's more supportive for you and breathe. So again, don't go for the full yang. Start with the yin, start with the ground, and unfold. This is such valuable work to take into your day. Just start with the yin, especially in conversations when they get heated. Exhale, look down, release. We're going to step forward here and come into Uttanasana. Hang out for a moment. And then as you're feeling ready, you'll step your right foot back. Yeah, Parsvottanasana to begin with. So hands on either side of your foot. And just take a nice deep breath. And we scoop our belly. And then fold in. You can do a little articulation of the big toe mound of the front foot, little toe mound of the back foot. Feel all those bones in your feet, adapting, finding ground. And you either stay here or take it into Parivrtta Trikonasana. So planting your right hand down, pull with your right thumb on that hip crease back, open. Yeah. And you just go to where you go to today. And then on the next exhale, finish it out. Inhale. Well, let's come back to Uttanasana. That's a better pause point. Take your elbows and just hang. And do a sway if it feels good, side to side, front to back. Yeah. Beautiful. And then I'd love to do one more standing twist. So we're going to bring our hands to our hips and slowly come on up. And this is a nice one, you guys, to have a strap if you have one. Don't worry if you don't. You may or may not need it, but I do these days. So we're going to come into remind me of the name of this. Utthita Hasta Parangustasana. So if you don't have a strap and your leg doesn't straighten well, you'll just take your knee like so. Okay. And you're just going to hold your knee. Yeah. If you have your strap, you just come to where you come to. Great. And then whoop. Oh my. Okay. Use the wall if needed. I might today. So we're going to first go out to the side with our leg. Yeah. Go slow. And then we're going to just take a few breaths there with the leg out to the side. Then we're going to come back to center and cross over. And you're going to take your right arm behind you into a twist. So you'll take your strap with both hands. Yeah, there we go. And the idea is to go down first, right? Then go up. And then we twist. The twist is at the end. Go down, reach up, and twist. Every exhale is an opportunity to release, soften. Yeah. And then we'll inhale, come back, and exhale, release. Ooh, that was harder than I thought it was going to be. That's what happens when you don't do that pose very often. Go ahead and shake your hips a little. In fact, what's really nice here in the hips is just to take your hands and keep both knees bent, but you're going to drop one hip at a time. Yeah, that's it. And it really is a nice little stretch for the sacrum, SI joint. Yes. Great. And then we'll come to the other side. So slide your left foot into the strap. Find your ground first. So we go down to go up. We go in to come out. That's it. Eyes are steady on the horizon. Let your leg come out to the side about 45 degrees. The gaze can go off to the right. If you need to offset the balance with the right arm out, that's fine. And then we come back, and here's where you just pay a little more attention to your ground. Switch the hands. So you're holding the right knee or right strap, or no, you're holding with your right hand. Yeah, and then look behind you. Don't be in a rush to twist. Stay in your center. Good. And then we come back and exhale, release your strap. Some of you might have. All right. Do some little movements in your hips if that feels good. Yeah. Great. And then let's make our way to the floor. So you can take a sun salutation, inhaling, arms up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Good. Exhale, we'll step back to down dog. You can come through vinyasa if you like to upward dog, or just stay here. To me, this is feeling really good. And we'll come to sitting, and let's stretch our legs out, and yeah, just take a moment here in Dandasana, pulling the flash back from the sitting bones. We'll sit up tall, hands by our sides, and yeah, just you can partially close the eyes or close them all the way, and just breathe. Open up the feet. Just feel, see if you can feel the space out from the skin of your feet. The bones open up, the stretching of the bones. Feel your sitting bones, bones of the earth, ancestors. I know I talked about that. And we'll inhale, the arms reaching up. And we hinge here at the hips, just hinging forward. And then just stop where you stop, and you can take your feet or use the strap around your feet. Inhale and exhale. We just want to try to keep the spine elongating as we come over. That's the key. Keep using the breath. Little tone of the pelvic floor and Uddiyana Bandha happening. Every exhalation takes you a little deeper in. Every inhale, a little more expansion. Breath, life force. Good. Following it out, exhale, and then we'll inhale, come on up. And let's take Purvottanasana, and you can do Purvottanasana with the legs straight or knees bent. So legs straight looks like this. You just want to roll the thighs and feet in, and knees bent, or just lifting the hips from here. So probably if you have the knee stuff going on, this might be better, Kath. Opening. I haven't done this one in a while either. Great, and then exhale, lower. And let's take our right ankle and just rest it here above the left knee. And we're gonna do some pressure points on the feet here, just moving around the bottom of your foot. And if you find a nice little tender spot, maybe stay a little bit longer. Yeah. And then you can come right up the shin here and just do a little squeezing. Yeah. Great. Squeezing the calf, maybe that inner line. This is a kidney line here, coming from big toe up the inner leg to right inside the hip, I believe. Yeah, something like that. So nourishing the kidney. Yep. Great. Okay, and then let's inhale, sweep the arms up here, and we'll just fold forward. Yummy hip opener here. And keep your right foot just a tiny bit activated, so you're bringing a little protection to your knee. And finding coming back to the inner smile. So in the last couple of breaths, it's nice to sort of go into the full, sort of a full yin posture where you're just letting it all soften just for a moment. And then we inhale, come back up, and we'll just plant our right foot all the way down here, and right hand behind, left arm comes around the front of the shin here for a nice twist. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So just take your time moving through, feeling that vertical midline as you inhale, and as you exhale, you're twisting around that vertical center. I actually love twists for feeling and being in both the vertical and the horizontal, right? Earth and sky. Great. And then inhale, we'll make our way back out, stretching both legs out. Do a little tap with your big toes, continuing to activate that kidney meridian there. Yep. And then we'll fold our left ankle and just again, give your foot a little love. So thumbs can just press in to all those little nerve endings of the organs. And again, if you find a little sore spot, you can just take a little extra time there. And then we'll come up the shin bone, up and down a couple times, and then along the inner thigh. Just pushing your thumb is really the best way. Yep. And then we'll inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, hinge forward and find your sweet edge. Take some nice, deep Ujjayi breaths here. And then inhale, come on up. Good, and exhale. Let's stretch the legs out again. Just do a couple little taps here. And then we'll come into Baddha. Oh, twist. Thank you. Thank you. You're like, oh, the best part. I almost forgot. Good. And so we'll twist to the left. Yeah, taking that right arm around the front of the shin. Every in-breath, we create more space, more opening. Every out-breath, squeezing the tissues, the organs. Wringing out the spine. Good. All right, now we're even. Inhale, come back out, and let's tap the feet. And then we'll come into Baddha Konasana, so soles of the feet together. And you can just, I love to lift my hips and just scoot the sitting bones back, hands around the toes, and just start nice and tall here. Yeah. And then you can let your feet open like a book and go forward. And nice to use the elbows on the inner thighs to just open here. Mm. Mhm. And so again, in these last breaths, allow yourself to curl all the way over. So you actually get a nice opening through the whole back line when you take it into the more yin posture, letting everything go, softening in. Great. Then when you're ready, inhale, coming back up, and we'll take it right into Upavista Konasana. Legs come into about a 45-degree angle. Yeah. And so if this is challenging for you just to sit, you'll just take your hands behind you and work it here, just pointing the knees and toes up. Otherwise, you can either take the hands out in front or take your big toes. Just find the position that works best for you. Long, deep breaths. We're going to stay here about 7 breaths. My battery is low, so great. And then when you guys have had enough, I'm just gonna get this video on. You're gonna lie on your back, so come on up and lie down on your back. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Yeah, so let's have our knees bent and feet are kind of in line with your sitting bones, right? And the thighs are parallel, and you can either rest your hands on your abdomen or out to your sides. We're going to come into some pelvic rocking. So you're just going to inhale, slightly bring an arch into your back, and exhale. Using your feet, round your spine, drop your navel back. Inhale. And exhale. And you just kind of want to start a little more with the impulse to rock rather than the effort. So we just undulate. We kind of feel how the spine naturally wants to undulate. Okay? Our spines are not supposed to be straight. They're supposed to bounce. So this undulation movement is so good for our spines. And just to feel the movement all the way up and down. Great. And then we'll just come back to a neutral place. And let's windshield wipe just for a moment. Turn the toes out. Let the knees go off to the right. Looking to your left. Nice big stretch here in the psoas. Bring space inside the hip flexors and then other side. And we'll inhale, come back to neutral. Great. And then let's come into bridge pose. So we'll come back with the feet a little bit, just about hip distance apart. Press gently into the feet, start to lift the hips and keep the thighs parallel as you reach under, clasp the hands, walk the shoulders in. Yeah, and just, I always like to come into this and just do a little hip sway, just to sort of feel that freedom. And then relax the jaw, the throat. Breathe. And then as you're ready, slowly lower back down. And we'll draw the knees into the chest, give a little hug, and roll side to side. Yeah. Good. And hold your right knee, extend your left leg. We'll come into one last twist of our day. So we'll twist the knee over to the left, look over the right, and breathe. Oh, feels so good. Nice anchoring of the right shoulder. And then making our way back, take a hold of your left knee and twist over to the right. So let your eyes move to all the way to the left. Maybe looking up a little, down a little. And then inhale, coming back, knees into chest. Great. And then I'll give you the next minute to find your way to Shavasana. So maybe you want to take a happy baby, or if there's a pose missing for you, you feel free to take it. Yeah. And then let's make our way into our final resting pose. Gather any warm clothes. Super important to stay warm in this fall time of year. I just want to read a little piece from David Whyte. In a section that he is talking about, the antidote to exhaustion is wholeheartedness. And so it really goes with the yin theme that we've had going. So he says, you are like Rilke's swan in Rilke's poem. In his awkward waddling across the ground, the swan doesn't cure his awkwardness by beating himself on the back, by moving faster, or by trying to organize himself better. He does it by moving toward the elemental water where he belongs. It is the simple contact with the water that gives him grace and presence. You only have to touch the elemental waters in your own life, and it will transform everything. But you have to let yourself down into those waters from the ground on which you stand, and that can be hard. So we allow ourselves here in Shavasana to really let ourselves down into those elemental waters and that deep yin field of nourishment, of receiving. And in nourishing our bones, we're nourishing our ancestors ultimately.